to my cast of a F1 or Formula Sundays race. I've been sick last week, very sorry for that, but I'm looking forward to, be back properly, I guess, right now. So, we have a little bit of a table going on here. It is the simplified one, so we don't have all the data. But so far, Borucek DF has been very successful in the last races, and I think he even won the last one as well. So he has 2 P1 finishes at least, probably even 3, and 1 P3 finish, if I remember right. Which makes him the leader of the leaderboards right now. Jack is following up very close, Matti is following up in a little bit more of a distance, and Battle for P3 is actually quite close now. We have Infernalus with 45 points and Merlin Thunders with 39 following up close. But yeah, we are in a little bit of a Mercedes situation up there with Borut and Jack, who are kind of playing in their own league, it seems. Or just a little bit more advanced. It's not the Mickey domination that we had last season, but it is definitely, a strong season so far by Borut and Jack. And on the other side, we have the fitting stats. Borucek DF puts his team Global Spec Racing 2 with all the points they have ever gained, 2 P1 in the Constructors. Jack, with You Like That, up on top. Norgurts Racing with Matti and Tipsinio following up soon. Ultimate Panda Racing, I think it's Merlin Thunders and Hakutako. And I've heard it right, I hope, in the background. We should be jumping into qualifying right now. I'm happy to be back again. I'm very hyped for this race actually. Monza is usually showing us some good overtaking opportunities. It's the Temple of Speed, as they call it. And yeah. Let's see what this has to offer for us. So, short qualifying. Coming on. I hope that everyone is there. And it seems like it. We had 13 players that told us that they wanted to come for today's race, but yeah. I think we're going to be seeing good racing in between these 12 guys as well. So the first guys are going to go out on track. If I saw that right, that was the car of Jack. Was it? Yes, it was. Day 10 on wheel. Oh yeah, I think Jack just got his new setup recently. And I don't know if he's still driving with a gamepad or if he fully changed to the wheel. But yeah, I think he might be driving on the wheel now. And, well, in Matti's opinion, you will get faster if you get used to the wheel sooner or later. Might not seem like that at first, and it might not be easier necessarily, but it should be faster overall. We might look into that. Yeah, he has got the shaky things going on there, which I think shows the forced feedback you have on a wheel. And it's not the classic, well, immediately swapping back into the neutral position that controller players sometimes have. And yeah, I'm excited to see Jack on a wheel. Because it's been pretty fast before. And it will be interesting to see if you can pull that off with the new setup as well. So he's gonna be the first to set a lap time here. I think it is King Luke. It could be Ignite in the past. Yeah, behind him. Who might get a little bit of an advantage by the suck on this track. He might be getting a little bit of a tow. But I think they are too far apart already. That looked pretty, well, harsh, like a corner cut. I don't know if the game lets Jack get away with that. But he seems to be still going strong. Ah, perfect. I was about to switch into that perspective, but we might as well switch in the TV camera. Good racing line through the... Oh, come on, how's the name? I always forget the names about here. I mean, this is Parabolica and I know Curva Grande and the Lesmos. But I always forget the two chicanes. But anyways, 1:20.6 will be the time to beat for now. And Infernal is gonna be the first one to do so with the 1:20.5. Matti just coming out of the Parabolica there. Well, will be a little bit slower than the guys before, and I think Ignite might have had a spin in Sector 2 because he is really slow. Yeah, careful not to get a penalty here. Oh, and Merlin Thunders actually just went on a hot lap, I think. Which is quite interesting, because he used to be pretty fast as well. A yellow flag in Sector 1. Maybe there's someone on start-finish that is just driving slow to get back to the pits. Yeah, I think that will be it. So, Merlin Thunders going through Sector 2, coming up onto the last sector. And how's this meantime looking? We've got no time to compare it to anything yet. In the meantime, Yapsinio and King Luke have set times, but they are, well, a lot slower than the runners in front. Hakutako has a new, well, best time, fastest lap in the qualifying. But I've seen these guys talking about their 1:19s and stuff as PBs in the Discord before, so I expect them to, yeah, one-up that lap time by Hakutako there. Merlin Thunders for now goes into P2. Provisional front row for him there. A bunch of guys are sitting in the pits. Borat Sektiev actually is not on a hot lap, he is on his in lap as well. Not on top as he used to be yet, but I have the feeling like that Borat Sektiev has been a way better race driver than a qualifying driver. I don't know if he qualified that high up in this season at all so far, but he has always had good results on the track. Yeah, we have a few guys going for outlaps now. I think we're going to jump over to Infernalus a little bit. We haven't seen him there, and jeez, that was close. Almost colliding with his teammate there, I think. Should have been Dan. Is Dan even racing? Yeah, he is on his outlap as well. Well, we don't know what happened there, but I can only assume a little bit of a spin or whatever mistake going on there for Dan. Yeah. Infernal Lewis now going through. Is that Ascari? I hope it is Ascari. Oh, and there is another. There's another spin going on. I think. Was it the tiger car? It was an orange car. Might have been. Yeah, Ignite is on an out lap. Who is the other orange guy? King Luke. Was probably on an in lap. Well, don't know. Exactly. By the way, if the picture freezes for a moment, that's because it does that for me as well. I have a little bit of a delay going on sometimes, or slight lag, you could say. Oh yeah, it was probably King Luke on his in-lap, because he's just in the pits now. So, on board with Infernal Lewis. Sector 1 has been looking quite okay-ish. This one, even though he looked like he went on the gravel on the left there, seems like he was pretty fine. Not losing the rear too much here during the Lesmos. Gets a good exit here. DRS activated. And onwards to Ascari. I think Ascari is the name. Aggressive racing line there, but keeps control of his car. And he's going to be the first of the top pack to set a second lap. Parabolica looks good. Racing line, I'd say almost optimal there. And he improves his time a little bit, but not enough. Oh my god, that's very close now. The drivers 2 up to 4 are in the range of 300s right now, and well, that was pretty close for Infernal Lewis. Almost going P2 there. So Dan, his teammate, I think he abandoned anything that he was doing before, because this is not gonna be a good lap. He is not on high ERS, he has no fuel, will probably come into the pits at the end of this. Matti is on the way on a hot lap, it seems. Has to improve for about half a second. A little bit of sliding going on there during the braking, and the lock up there into Parabolica. This will not be a good lap. And he goes into the pits immediately. 8 minutes to go. I think this will more than enough for almost every driver to get another stint in. And Infernal Lewis is on an in-lap, I think. Jack should be on an in-lap as well. So who do we have? We have Big Cup, who's either on an in-lap, yeah, he's on an in-lap, or on a very slow hot lap. Ignite. In-lap as well. Well, everyone's in the pits now. So we might take our time and look at King Luke for a bit there, before we will probably switch over to Merlin Thunders up in front there, who seems to be on his next hot lap then, and well, certainly looking forward to break that. We'll place 2 to 4 up, because they are very close together still, and in fact this is probably the lap to watch here. Merlin Thunders now on board. Through Sector 1, Curva Grande is not a problem. Wait, he's on an outlap? Highly doubt he's on an outlap. He is most certainly on a hot lap, but... Oof. Or he's just gonna retire. Don't know how the left tire falls off in that position, because he clearly slammed the right one. But yeah, in that case, we might take a look at King Luke again, who is at the back of the grid for now, but is looking forward to change that, certainly. And that's gonna be interesting, because Maryland Thunders is basically, well, heavily relying on the performance of the other guys then, and all of them have another go on the podium. Okay, King Luke apparently abandoned his hot lap, as it wasn't very fast as well. Going for another one? No, he's just going into the pits immediately. And I think Borat Sekdiev is now the only guy on a hot lap right now. Or at least the first of the, well, yeah, he's even in the pack right now, to set a third lap time. So, through the first chicane and the last modes. Not doing the mistake that Merlin did there. Very good. Looks, he doesn't lose the rear at all. It's very solid through sector 1 and 2. Now it's only the Ascari, I think. That is hard to do. I think Parabolica is comparably easy. Catches his car on the exit. And even though I say Parabolica is fairly easy, I think you still have to hit the optimal braking point and then get a good racing line. As he runs very wide, but it does not seem to lose him that much time. But he only goes a little bit faster. I think he had 2 tenths up that time in the end of sector 2. So definitely a little bit of a time loss in sector 3 there. Ooh, Infernaloo is almost losing it, going to the grass for a little bit. Can he save that lap through the Parabolica, or will he just go in and go for another? Doesn't look too bad, but it seems like he will go for another. So yeah, Infernaloo will have another try. Borat Sekdiev is not on a hot lap right now. Big Cup, if he was on a hot lap, he is certainly not anymore, as he made a small trip through the gravel in the end of the last mode 2. Yeah, but I think he will go for another attempt on a hot lap immediately after this. So Ignite, ooh, finds himself in the grass as well. And has no ERS at all. How did he do that? He's only one turn in. Yeah, this will probably result in an in-lap for him, so we might switch back. Okay, Big Cup is going into the pits and then going to do his last stint. A fairly big amount of drivers will be on track then. I think a lot of these guys are doing the final lap at the same time. So King Luke, probably the last attempt for him as well to move himself from the end of the grid. Or somewhere in the midfield, I think, is his maximum potential. Don't think he can challenge the drivers at the top. Running a little bit wide on the left there after the first chicane through Curva Grande. And chicane number 2. So Lelmos coming up. Important not to lose it there. Catches his car. And does not make a trip to the gravel as well. ERS activated, upcoming into sector 3. And let's look at that. Racing line looks quite good there. Yeah, contains control over the car. And this might be maybe not his fastest attempt, but definitely the smoothest I've seen from him in this session. first lap was kinda messy that I've spectated him. Staying very long to the outside, and we're not improving ourselves here. Close one for him, I think. Infernal Lewis. Oh, we have spectated him before. And let's look at Dan. Oh, the teammates very close together. Maybe Dan is giving Lewis a bit of a tow. Or they are trying to do that. But I think it will end up costing them time in the end. Yeah, Lewis is definitely faster. Has been in the past as well. The driver standings reflect that as well. And yeah, I don't know if they were actually trying to go for the tow there. But I don't know if that's working out for them. It's highly dependent on Dan, and plop. Well, Lewis is gone. Into the wall he goes. No more chance for him to go for another run. And yeah, I think that was just an unfortunately executed run for these guys there. Someone is waiting on the goal line. On the goal line. It's not a goal line. I'll start finish to yeah, let the time run down and just drive over the line then. But who's still up? Jack is still on day 10 on the wheel, but still chasing after Hakotako's best time. Someone spun out there. I think it was one of the XRT guys. Probably Big Cup here, as Haslov is finished already. Ooh, slight improvement by Jack, and if he can contain that through the last sector, it might as well be the pole, because I think was something around 700ths, and that's roughly the time he needs to gain to push Hakotako from P1. And, ooh, the exact 120. But invalid lap time through corner cutting, I assume. And Borodzakliev in the end got another banger time as well, putting himself on P1 and Jack down to P3. And claiming pole position for the Monza GP. Out of nowhere, I didn't have him on my inner screen in the end, that he's still up for a good time. But that's the order we're going to be starting. Borodzakliev up in front, Hakotako making his front row appearance, and Jack followed up by Merlin Thunders in the second row, the P1 guys in row 3, Matti on P7 only with Big Cup from the Extreme Racing team, Yapsinio and Ignite following up and completing the top 10, Haslov and King Luke starting from the lower half of the grid. Okay, so we have roughly 30 seconds for the players to make their strategies. I think most of them will probably have thought of something before this event. And yeah, I'm going to be... I am already excited for the start. Monza is a difficult place for the first corner. I hope it's not going to end in an absolute carnage immediately there. But the first chicane is very tricky for several cars to drive through. Red lights are going on, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Borodzakliev in P1 still gets a good getaway. Infernal Lewis on the right side, I think, has got a very good start. Dan will certainly need to... Okay, can actually slow his car down. Was going on the grass there. Ooh, Borodzakliev was pushed on the gravel by Hakotako, I think, there, and is now into the last spot. Very unfortunate for him. Hakotako, let's jump to the lead here, is going to be attacked by Jack. He's going to be pushed on the gravel as well. Aggressive defending there by Hakutako, and Infernalus seizes the day and takes the opportunity to go up into P2. Dan is now already attacking Jack as well in behind, and following that, the Norgurts drivers are already coming up on P5 and P6. Dan now having a lunge through the inside, but a little bit too aggressive, getting spun out there by Jack, and I think that one is on Dan. Dan now on the back of the grid. Boruc even overtook him then, and that's been a quite interesting first lap. Well, nothing too much going on there. I think it was a bit of a hard move on Boruc Sagdiyev in the first chicane. There, yeah, basically pushing the leader out. Jack in the meantime took P2 back by Infernalus. And yeah, Norgurts from I think P8 and P10 already in P4 and 5, which is pretty good. So let's do all that on details. We don't need details yet. Dan is in the pit, probably lost his front wing in the spin back there. Oops, yeah. Yeah. Basically everyone apart from the last 3 guys gained some positions. Hasselhoff seems to have a spin in the back. Yes, through Lesmo 2 I think it is. And he retired. So I assume he got hit or something, because yeah, he was perfectly fine to go on after this. Or he seemed to be. Yepsinio and Matti, well, kind of driving in the no man's land. No one really coming up there. Ignite is closing up to Yepsinio though. And Infernalus can't really hold the distance between him and Jack. He's slowly pulling away. And if you get out of the 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane for Merlin Thunders. If you get out of the DRS window on Monza, you're not completely lost. You still get a quite good tow, but it's very good to be in that 1-second window around here. It gives you a lot of well, place to work it. So Boruc Sagdiyev is now going to the inside of King Luke, not able to do the overtake quite yet. Let's jump on board with him. Lesmo 1 gets a way better exit than King Luke. He seems to be struggling for traction a little bit. And DRS is coming up, and this will be, well, certainly this will be the move for Boruc to overtake Luke here. He should have way better pace since the qualifying laps were almost 2 seconds apart. And I'm glad that Boruc Sagdiyev is still going so strong after he got spun out very early into the race. So Ignite is now approaching Yepsinio. Probably the next move we're going to see. Yepsinio struggling a little bit for traction in the end of the Parabolica. Matti is pulling away pretty fast. Yellow flags in Sector 3. Might have been one of the, well, drivers farther behind, but doesn't seem to be permanent, and I don't see any massive time losses. Oh, yeah, King Luke lost something like 12 seconds on Boruc Sagdiyev when we're at it. But yeah, Ignite is not able to close up to Yepsinio entirely. Lock up on the front left here for him. This does not lose him too much time. Oh, he falls out of the DRS window. That is certainly pleasant for Yepsinio, since he has a little bit less of pressure to fear now. And we jump right over to the top positions here, as Jack is slowly but steadily getting closer to Hakutako. Hakutako in a really good spot there. Probably for at least the first time I recognize him at the top of the well, leaderboards for now. Jack not quite into DRS range, but you can tell that the toe, even apart from that, well, helps him and to gain a little bit of time. He gains a bit, I think, like 100th or something, and not 100th, a 10th, around that start-finish straight. Ignite is coming very close to Yapsinio though, but not in the range to do a move, and now he might have to fend off Big Cup here, who's approaching slowly from behind. P7, battle for P6. And this as well will certainly please Yapsinio, because he might be able to pull away a bit, whilst Ignite is busy with fending off Big Cup here. Hakotaku, a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, I assume. And Big Cup now is approaching Ignite, gaining up roughly 3/10 with the DRS, and it will be more with the slipstream on the back straight and the DRS on the main straight if he does not lose it entirely. Borutzak DF says thank you and overtakes Big Cup immediately. And continues his chase after the top drivers. Jack is now into DRS window and gains himself a 5-second time penalty for avoiding a collision, as it seems. Pretty unfortunate for him. I think he most certainly crashed into Hakotaku if he didn't do that, but yeah, the game's having none of it. Cutting the first corner. I was wondering driving Monza in career mode earlier, why this is so heavily punished, but apparently that's normal. If you cut the first corner in Monza, you will get 5 seconds of a time penalty. He still stays up close, and as Hakotaku has a time penalty himself, the difference between them should only be 2 seconds still. Yeah, this is gonna be more interesting towards the end of the race. Oh, and Hakotaku there, under the pressure of Jack, making a mistake, losing it out of the Ascari chicane, and, well, getting on the grass, not completely smashing the wall. Good catch by him there. But now he has to worry about Inferno Lewis coming up behind. He will get the DRS. Hakotaku will probably get the DRS still as well. So... yeah, closing up to Jack, getting the better toe up of him, then Inferno Lewis is getting off Hakotaku himself. But Jack showed that he had very good pace and he might be able to pull away. I think he gained like 300ths or something per lap on Hakotaku on the last laps. And it's already lap 7, so we might get close to the first pit stops coming up. Borut in the meantime has overtook Ignite, who seems to have made a mistake somewhere early on, as well as the distance to Yapsinio has grown a little bit. Yapsinio now gets a warning for corner cutting. But I think basically everyone will be collecting these. Ooh, Borutzak getting on the gravel there, losing the rear a little bit, but not losing too much time ultimately, as he does a very good catch of his car. Let's see up in front. Hakotaku now gets a way better exit than Jack out of the Ascari chicane. Jack will get the DRS on the main straight though. And Inferno Lewis is right up there as well. What a battle for P1. 3 guys coming down the main straight. 2 of them have DRS. Inferno Lewis almost crashing the rear of Jack there. Ooh, losing it a little bit as he braked on the grass. And I think, yeah, Inferno Lewis went through the 5-second penalty corner cutting. Yeah, went through the escape route, but he kind of smashed it instead of going around it, and by that obtains a penalty as well. Pretty unlucky for him, because I think he rather lost time still than gaining some. But the game is absolutely ruthless in that first chicane. And the battle up at top remains close. We will jump on board with Jack a little bit. He's doing pretty good for only 1 week driving with the wheel. Oh, hello, mister. I can't unfortunately read your name entirely because the Twitch window is a little bit fricked. Who won the first race? We are already in race 5. Of the season, like we have one race every Sunday. And I think most of the races were won by Borutsek on P6, who got crashed here in the beginning. He was on pole. Jack is on P2 in the championship, and Matti, who is on P3 at the moment, is in P3. Followed up closely by Infernalus and Merlin Thunders, I think. But yeah, I think Jack and Boruts might still be the favorites. Infernalus here up in the back, losing out a little bit to Jack, and Hakotaku, the leader, the first one to pit for new tires, might have pushed a little bit too aggressive to maintain the lead somewhere around there. Borutsek is definitely closing up to Yapsinio though, as he should be. Yapsinio's been one of, well, I think, I would not say he's the Hulkenberg of this one, but he is more of a consistent midfield driver than a real top driver. Whereas Borutsek is definitely a contender for the race win still. He's only 15 seconds or something behind the leaders, which can be well, caught up through superior strategy or just better driving. So I think podium is very well possible for him, because Yapsinio and him are battling for on-track position. Jack now, the first guy to go into the pits of the leaders group, and now it's gonna be excited where he's going to come out. Certainly, well, somewhere around, well, let's see. On the mediums, he might even go to finish the race on these. Hakotaku has passed him again. So, way better pit stop strategy for Hakotaku. Undercut has clearly worked for him, even though he was not really behind him beforehand. Oh, that's a big misjudgment on the first exit. Ooh. What's that? Okay, Yapsinio and Borutsek apparently went side to side a little bit. He will certainly go for a move with the DRS now. Going up to Sector 3. Yeah, the speed is clearly superior, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. And I don't know if he really wants to fight that late into the stint, because I think Yapsinio might be going for a pit stop very soon, and if he is not, Borutsek will surely go for a pit stop soon as well. But yeah, he overtakes Yapsinio cleanly. Infernalus is into the pits, and both of these drivers go into the pits. I unfortunately did not see what was going on there. If Yapsinio bumped into Borutsek and he got a penalty because of that, because he was sped up. It looks like there has been a little bit of room, judging by this one, but we can't tell. Yeah, Jack overtook Infernalus again. Yeah. It's kind of interesting how far apart these three guys are now. Hakotaku, Jack, and Infernalus have basically been battling each other a few laps before the pit stops. But yeah, really loosened the spaces in between them. Merlin Thunder's one of the last guys that is yet to pit. almost everyone on the... Oh no, he has already pitted. Yeah, he pitted in the second lap or something because he lost his front wing, I think. But basically everyone has been going to the mediums in the last few laps. Matti is now one of the last guys to stop, and Big Carp will certainly follow him in this lap, will he? Or maybe he will go for another lap. No, he's in the pits as well. So everyone has made their first pit stop right now. And Merlin Thunders on his pretty worn soft tires is approaching the trees. And Yepsinio, of course. Getting the DRS now will get past. Yepsinio is rather playing it the long term. He knows that they are on a different strategy, and he does not have to fight this one too hard, not have to ruin his tires. But yeah, this might not be of an advantage for Yepsinio here, driving behind Merlin Thunders. Good thing they left each other spaces there. Maybe Merlin's going for the slingshot, but it rather seems like he lost out again a little bit. Aggressive racing there by Merlin. But they, yeah, give each other the space they needed, even though it was pretty much on the edge there. And, ooh, what's that? Matti now is under attack of Jack. Jack has been pretty fast in the past. Matti has been pretty fast in the past too. He had a very good race in the USA, but then he spun out in the end of it, pretty much bottling his race victory there and giving it to Boris Sagdiev, I think. But otherwise, Matti would have had the top spot of the podium for once in this season as well. One minor mistake ruined it back then, but yeah, Jack and him are going side by side into the first chicane, leaving each other enough space. That's racing I want to see. High quality players, high quality drivers here, and Inferno Lewis is going to join this battle pretty soon. So yeah, Jack just overtook Matti there. Sorry, I was a little bit confused by the doorbell, but fully there now again. And Yepsinio and Merlin Thunder keep on overtaking themselves. Now, oh my god, seems quite nice. But yeah, I won't switch away from that now, otherwise we might miss a nice overtake or something. Because they are coming up onto the main straight, and DRS is certainly available for Matti and Inferno Lewis. And I think it will be these two guys battling each other. Oh no, Matti is actually very close to Jack as well, and it's Inferno Lewis who is kinda lacking the speed out of the Parabolica a bit. Matti now back in the lead, and that one's nice. So Merlin Thunder's the last guy on the soft tires to pit. I think after his stop, basically everyone should be going to the end. And yeah, we basically have the on-track positions are the real positions then, because no one will be in the need for another stop. Matti pulling away there for a little bit. I think Jack made a slight mistake there, as he's not in DRS range anymore. He will certainly come up back into that 1 second window again, because Slipstream is still pretty strong, even if you're a little bit more than a second behind. So yeah, we have a pretty close battle from P2 to P4, basically the same as we had in qualifying. And yeah, it's gonna be on Inferno Lewis. Oh no, Inferno Lewis loses very much time out of the Parabolica compared to Matti and Jack, to be honest. they pull away so hard on the start-finish line. Maybe it's a setup thing, maybe he runs more downforce than these guys. I wouldn't know why on Monza, but maybe it is. Like that. And yeah, but anyways, think sooner or later this is going to be more of a, well, 2-driver battle than a 3-way. But by that they will need, they will lose time, and Infernalus will catch up again. In the back here we have a pretty, where's Borod Sekdiev? It says that Big Cup is very close behind. This is not the case. Okay, nice. Okay, I was expecting some nice battle back there, and then we actually missed the overtake of Jack onto Matti. And now Infernalus is right at the back of him again as well. And in the DRS window especially, Matti closes up to Jack a little bit, but it won't be enough for a overtake. And what was that? Somewhere around here there should be Ignite, who is out of the race now. Oh yes, it seems like he spun out to the left and then lost his front left tire. And that's the second retirement of this race. Unlucky drive for the Ignite, for the orange team driver. But yeah, sometimes it do be like that. Matti in the meantime still following up to Jack. And yeah, Hakutako is just enjoying himself in the front, up in front. With 7.5 seconds of room. Think on a good day Jack can fight that down and yeah, gain enough to catch him up. Think he might benefit from that backmarker there, giving him DRS. Even though he does not use it seems. So anyways, I think the battle is going to continue for quite a while, and I honestly don't want to spectate one driver all the time. Oh, another thing. Borod Sekdiev in the meantime really close up to these 3 guys battling. He's only 1.5 seconds behind now. And he has been the man on the pole, so not a pole dancer, but a fast driver. So he will get into striking range of Infernalus pretty soon, and well, even though the distance has become a little bit bigger between these 3 drivers, it is still in a range where it could be, oh my god, either I have some lags or he has some lags, but sometimes stuff looks weird. But yeah, a battle could break out any second, basically. So, but yeah, back to Big Cup, because I'm pretty sure that we're going to spectate Borod Sekdiev and the guys up in front in the end of the race for quite a bit, and Big Cup has been closing up to Yapsinio, well, at slow steps as well. Has a little bit of a tire advantage, but not really. In the meantime, Hakutako is actually losing time on the runner-ups. Jack has already gained more than a second in the last 2 laps, and well, has gained half a second on Matti, I think. Yellow flag in sector 2. I think we're going to see what is up there pretty soon with pickups on board here. And there's a driver who is pretty slow. It is King Luke. Back marker, I think here on P10. Lost it a little bit. And oof, loses it again. Maybe he's drunk, I don't know. But yeah, not really going on the street for him there. In the meantime, Inferno Lewis is back into DRS window with Matti, and Big Cup overtook Yapsinio. What happened there? Maybe Yapsinio ran wide at the end of the Ascari, but he will have the DRS to return on that one. And he's very close in the slipstream already. Big Cup seems to have a little bit of lagging issues. Pulls over to the left, and no match for overtake mode plus DRS for Yapsinio there. He closes the door, slides through the chicane, and is in the lead of Big Cup for now. So, Big Cup in the meantime will make sure that he stays close to Yapsinio. 8 laps to go. And ooh, he will try to send it down through this chicane, but I think he's rather losing time there and screwing up his tires than he wins time. And that's what we're waiting for. Borutzak DF and Inferno Lewis approaching Matti, who lost out to Jack quite a bit now, almost 2 seconds now. Of course, he has to fend off the other guys now as well. Through the outside of the... oh, come on. Parabolica, that's the name. Oh, and Hakutaku is actually pitting again. Oh yeah, he has a 5-second penalty. I don't know if he had that in mind, because I'm pretty sure it's faster to just... or it's better to serve that one after the race. But he's going for another set of softs. And it seems like he is going to be the first and maybe only one of the leading drivers to go for a 2-stopper here. Don't know if that is worth it in the end. Hakutako now, well, he is going, or needs to be rushing through the field now, because he has quite a lot of time to make up. Yapsinio continues to be battling with Big Cup here. Ooh, yes, what I was about to say. Let's jump back to these 3 guys. Oh, and I think Borat Sakdiev hit the wall there. I don't think there was another driver involved in that. I think he just hit the grass slightly. And he's left the session. Yeah, he has been kinda weirdly jumping around before this. Maybe he had ping issues, and that's why he went off track there on the straight and kissed the wall a little bit. But now it's on Matti and Inferno Lewis, the battle for P2. He's diving down to the inside. Massive lockup for Matti, but he closes the door. Switchback move coming around from Inferno Lewis. And it's successful. But not for long. Oh, King Luke with another retiring. In Sector 2, I think. Might be the Lesmos again for him. He had his moment there early on. But intense battle here for Matti and Inferno Lewis. The drive in front is it Jack? Yeah, I think that should be Jack. It's not a back marker. Oh yeah, and he spun out, I think, and retired on the right there. Yeah, I think these guys will be enjoying themselves in a nice little battle up until the end. Sad for Borutzak DF that he apparently DC'd out. Is he still invisible? Yes, he is still invisible. And he's of course losing a massive amount of time. Could have been his go for the P2 in this race. Matti will certainly take Inferno Lewis on this straight again. Yeah, the speed you have when you are close up in the slipstream and have DRS is just overwhelming. And yeah, Jack, of course, well, having a good laugh about all that in front, because he can pull away now. Hakotaku has taken Big Cap now. Will probably reach Borut Sekhtiev as well sooner or later in this race. So I think P4 is where Hakotaku is going to be ending. Infernal Lewis will have DRS on this straight and has a good amount of ERS for use. He closes up a bit, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Ooh, close one. No, just quite not enough there, but he gets a very good exit out of the Ascari chicane. Pulls right to Matti, and here we are through Parabolica. And Matti will probably go for a move on the main straight again. Has overtake available himself now. Down to the left, just the same as the last lap. And if they continue like that, it is going to be Infernal Lewis coming out on top, because he will be the one leading at the finish line in 4 laps. So Borut Sekhtiev has actually rejoined, and he is not a ghost anymore, but he's lost a huge chunk of time, and I don't think he will be able to defend Hakotaku with the fresh softs as well. Even though he's a fast driver, but that's not in the realm of possibilities for me, I think. Oh, and Infernal Lewis had a little bit of a slide there through Lesmo 1. Almost dropping... Yeah, he did actually drop out the DRS window. I don't think he has DRS available right now. No, he has not. But apparently the slipstream is still strong enough for him. That's a good exit, right at Matti's back. But, oh yeah, and that is DRS and overtake, I think, for Hakotaku. Seal the deal, and Borut Sekhtiev might benefit from that one by getting a little tow. So, DRS opening up for Infernal Lewis. He's going to go around the inside this time. Usually the overtakes we've seen here went around the outside. Not crashing into each other. That's actually fairly difficult as a driver. I mean, not crashing into each other should be easy, but on that hard braking zones, it's hard to calculate the momentum of what... I think he went, Borut Sekhtiev went straight there, just saw 10-second penalty and was like, okay, that's very much. Ooh, Matti running very wide there, but catching his car in the end. But this will, yeah, this will cost him the move down to the back straight. Okay, Borut still fighting with Hakotaku through the Lesmos. And honestly, if he can keep that up, that's quite impressive, because... Yeah, oh my god, moved down to the inside of the Ascari, but not successful. But yeah, the 4-lap old softs should be way faster at this point than his 13-lap mediums. But yeah, he seems to get a good tow of Hakotaku. And up in front, Matti overtook Infernal Lewis once again. It is only 2 more laps to go now. No, it's 3 more laps, because we're in the beginning of 25, but... so it's kind of getting closer and closer. In the back, everything's pretty much settled. Dan will probably, if no one's dropping out, come in as... Oh, was there a spin? No, but yellow flag still. Will probably come out as 9th. I think places 7 and 8 are separated by quite a good bunch as well. Big Cup is actually closing up to the Hakotarko Borutsakdiev group with his old mediums as well, so it might get interesting about there. Infernal is now getting 3-second time penalty that late in the race, certainly not gonna place him. But I don't know if Matti has more or less penalties. Matti definitely has one himself as well, but I think Infernal might have another. So yeah, 2 laps now. DRS coming out for Matti. He wants to beat Infernal on track. And he is not really willing to let the penalties seal the deal for them in the end. They even gained such a big amount of time on Hakotarko and Borutsakdiev, who are constantly fighting with each other as well. Sadly, I can't show both to the full extent. Borutsakdiev, I think that's been it for now. He's out of the DRS range pretty soon, I assume. The soft tires should be faster through the chicanes and the corners that are before the next DRS zone. Yepsinho got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Something went yellow in sector 1, might be him. And Infernal Lewis not gonna get his move around here. Oh, and he went super wide there, and that might have been it. He's not gonna get DRS. He is almost 3 seconds behind Matti now. And now Matti just has to play it down calmly and smoothly. I think it would be pretty good for him to be 3 seconds in front, because you never know if you have 3 more penalty seconds than the guy behind you. And yeah, maybe he can get inside that 5-second time penalty window of Jack even, because I think Jack has a time penalty of 5 seconds. He was pretty slow there as well. He kind of lost a second out of nothing. But yeah, it seems like Jack is going to finish first on track. And the only things that could change up here are Borutsakdiev and Hakotarko basically, but they're too far apart. So let's follow up Jack through these last corners. He's very low on fuel, has to be careful to not run out of fuel in the middle of the Parabolica. Last turn for him. And, well, if nothing changes after the race, I think this is this the first? That might be the first victory for Jack in this season. Matti is coming in second, Dan unserved penalty, nothing to worry about. And yeah, they have the same amount of penalties apparently. The first 3 positions stay like that. Hakotarko running above the start-finish line just now. Borutsakdiev taking P6. And Big Cup actually making P4 there, because both of the drivers in front had, well, way more penalties. Merlin Thunder's gonna be the last to cross the line, and that's it. Very entertaining Monza race, if I may say that. Yeah, we have Jack on top of the podium, joined by Matti on P2 and Infernal Lewis on P3. Great battle these guys have served each other, the cars with the 2s. And quite an astonishing P4 for Big Cup. I think he did not expect that good of a result after the qualifying. That was, I think, not that good by him, or at least not in the top spots. So, there we have it. We have a few time penalties, unfortunately for, well, Matti and Infernalus, that has not been enough to catch Jack in the end. But congrats on this drive by Jack, because it was a very strong performance. Matti and Infernalus very strong as well. Big Cup, clean race, giving him the P4. Hakotaku with a bit of a sketchy move into turn 1, and Borodsak well, was kinda hit in that move and had the unfortunate DC. So ruining a better results for them, but might have been good because that gives a little bit of spice back into the championship, which is gonna be interesting for sure. But yeah, I think that this has been it for me. Thank you all for watching and the follows, my dear friends. And I think we're going to hear from each other's, or you're gonna see the F1